Hi, I'm Nagendrapreet Singh. I'm a commercial and business lawyer based out of New Delhi. In this video, we would talk about the international expansion and challenges that businesses face while they embark on that journey. Very recently, we saw that Zomato, one of the Indian unicorns, embarked on the international business journey, but within a period of 1 year, they closed shop in 10 different geographies. Now, this is not about Zomato in particular, but about the international expansion as a subject in general. Now, if that happens once or twice, one could understand. But if it is happening 10 times in a row, I think that calls for a deliberation. Expanding internationally is a significant milestone, but often we see businesses dive in without addressing the key legal issues. Let's talk about the three common mistakes that businesses do while embarking on this journey, and how, with a little bit of foresight, one could avoid these mistakes and the resultant embarrassment. Mistake number one, overlooking the local compliance. Different countries, different rules. What works in one market may not work in another market. To give you an example, when Uber was coming to India, there was a debate whether Uber is an application floating on the screen of your phone or a taxi service. The laws in US in those days were forgiving for such an innovative idea, but it was a different case in India. So that is one thing. And then later on, Uber came in as an aggregator of different taxi services in India. Mistake number two, weak contracting and dispute resolution. Now, contracts are the bedrock on which the entire edifice of the business stands. So it is very important. It also decides the organizational behavior of the company that you are setting up. To give you an example, if an application or a grocery delivery company is delivering something in 10 minutes, so that is a promise that they make to the customer. But to deliver that promise, there has to be contracting and warehousing with the employees, with other vendors. Now, all this put together would result in a 10-minute delivery to the customer. So contracting is that bedrock on which the whole business stands. So that is one part. The other part is the dispute resolution. Whenever there is a contract, whenever there is a business setup, there has to be dispute. How would you be resolving the disputes? How the courts in that country view compliance or non-compliance of contracts. So all these things are very important consideration while you are setting up business in a new geography. Mistake number three, ignoring regulatory and tax compliances. Now, all countries have their own laws which drive the commercial behavior of people in that geography. Now, this is a very dynamic space. It is ever changing. For example, we have in India the annual budget or a financial bill, which we call. Now, this bill uh, would decide which goods and services would be taxed high and which goods and services would be taxed low. Now, this is actually a behavior driving mechanism for the people in that geography. So this is one aspect. The other aspect of tax regulatory regulation is that how would you repatriate the money back to your parent company, or if you want the parent company to be in another geography, what is the relationship of those two countries? What are the double tax treaties that are applying there? Uh, so this would also decide what kind of business vehicle you would want to have in that new geography, whether you want a joint venture, whether you want a branch, or whether you want an outright subsidiary. All these actually decide at the end of the day whether you are making any money there or not. And lastly, and I think most importantly, the cultural tones and undertones of the target geography that you are wanting to go in. Now, whether Zomato even sees it as a failure or not is also a cultural question. I read somewhere that they said these 10 entities put together were not even doing 0.33% of their global revenue. So I don't think they're even considering it as a failure. Now, in comparison, I worked for an MNC where the Indian entity was doing 0.7% of their global revenue, but they continued with that entity relentlessly, and they were not relenting even on the compliance part of it. So this company was doing only 0.7%, and the joke within the company was that the Indian entity was a rounding error. However, in their approach towards the Indian market or towards this company was same as it was for any other entity which was doing a lot of business. So expanding internationally is actually a significant milestone, but I believe a little bit of due diligence is going to make a difference whether you are going to scale up smoothly or end up in an expensive mistake. So on that note, thank you very much for being with me. Let's keep the conversation going on. Let me know how you feel about the subject and if there is any other input for me. Thank you.